All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. Welcome to Today Is. I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel.
I am Isaiah Burns.
That's right. I said our intro just a little bit different today, and we've got an extra person here, which makes it even better.
We have a special guest with us today, Isaiah Burns. He is the third of four Clay County comedians. There's four. I can't think of a fifth one.
I think there's four of us.
Yeah,
That
I think
sounds
there's
right.
four. The three of us vastly outweigh the fourth,
Oh, yeah.
which is Patrick. Patrick is quite the small person compared to us.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
I've lost a lot of weight, and I still vastly outweigh him.
you still outweigh Patrick by quite a bit, probably. Welcome to the show. We've got a great show for you guys today. Obviously, we have a guest.
Yes, I am here.
We have not had a guest in a while. I think Wes was our last guest,
That sounds right.
which was a while ago. But we're happy to have a guest today. Isaiah, you've been on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Shortly. You were briefly on the podcast.
Yeah, for about like 10 minutes or so.
Was it Tell a Joke Day or Tell an Old Joke Day?
Tell an Old Joke Day.
Tell an Old Joke Day. I did notice that I almost suggested we would do. There's one-liner day is a day this week, but it's a Wednesday, and we usually don't do Wednesdays. We usually do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I almost did that just because you were on a joke episode before, and I thought it would be funny. But anyway, we're not doing one-liner today, or maybe we are. What's your best one-liner?
I don't really do a lot of one-liners, but the best
That's hilarious. No, I'm not a one-liner comedian either. Although I will say, you do comedy long enough, and you end up writing some one-liners accidentally.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I have actually thought about going through my sets and just picking out all of the one-liners and then doing a set of one-liners. I could probably do a set of one-liners at this point, but I don't write for one-liners.
You could probably do like 10, 15 worth of one-liners when you really think about it.
Yeah, when you think about it, when you're like, oh, well, that's not a one-liner, but I didn't write this as a one-liner. I wrote it as part of a story or whatever, but there's plenty of one-liners in there, I think, that I could probably pull out. I just haven't taken the time to do it. I'm not good at one-liners because I feel like every one-liner that I've written, when I attempt to do a one-liner, I feel like it's the kind of thing that has to come naturally.
Yeah.
You have to naturally understand what one-liners are and do them. Like your brain has to work in that way comedically, and I don't think my brain works that way comedically. So when I force myself to write a one-liner, it's never good.
Yeah, they're just a weird thing. You asked Isaiah about his. I've got one. It is probably, I think I'm having a midlife crisis, but based on my my age and medical history, that's pretty optimistic. But that's part of that. That's just a setup, really. It works as a one-liner.
Yeah, so that's kind of a one-liner. Here's a one-liner I tried to write. Now I can't remember it, and it's dumb. And Chris Buck said it was stupid.
In that case, I like it.
I said, this was a few years ago. I said, I want to see that new movie that's coming out where this clinically depressed guy asks a sumo wrestler to sit on him. It's called Suicide Squat. And I just thought it was funny to say that instead of, for when Suicide Squad came out.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's stupid. And then there was another one that I would do. I don't know why, but I would do this when, like, for some reason there was this open mic. And Isaiah, you weren't around yet for this. And Bobby, I think you were on hiatus during this time. But there was open mic that was a contest a few years back. This was many years ago. I was maybe 2 years in. There was an open mic contest that was I think it was every week, and it kind of grew, and then he turned it into you'd get a first, second, and third place. I actually won that contest one time because there was only two people that came to do the contest.
Okay.
And then there was somebody there. The guy closing the show had won the contest the week before, so he was closing the show, and then the host. So it was like 4 comics total. And I was brand new, and I had one good story. I had a bunch of really dumb jokes that I wasn't good at, and then a story that was pretty good. That actually worked pretty well, and I would get a good response from. In fact, when I wrote this story and started telling it, I had people come up to me afterwards, like this is when I first started telling it, and go, You're actually pretty good today. And it's like, and then
today.
That's when you realize, like, oh, I haven't been good up until this point. And not that I was necessarily that good at that point either.
Right.
But then you realize, like, oh, everything I've been doing so far has been not good. And then you have that realization. But, like, this story was the first thing I did where anybody complimented me on my set. And I told that. That was the only story I had. I told that story, and I beat James Chafin for on that night and got $50. And that was the first time I ever got paid doing stand-up comedy.
Was that down in Daytona?
No.
Okay.
This one was in Jacksonville Beach. You remember Harmonious Monks?
Yes.
There was a Harmonious Monks in Mandarin and one in Jacksonville Beach. This was at the Harmonious Monks in Jacksonville Beach. And I wish I could remember the guy who used to run it. I don't think he's doing comedy anymore. He's probably dead or in prison.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's statistically correct.
But I don't I don't remember his name. I haven't seen him in years. Sorry if you're listening to the show and I can't remember your name. But he did that contest there, and then that was the first time I ever got paid for stand-up comedy, was winning that $50. And it has all been downhill from there. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So then he kept that going for a while, and then I remember we did the content. The next iteration of that was at another place called The Loft, in Jacksonville Beach. It was only like a couple blocks away, and we actually did shows there for a while. Like we did a few different things, but I ended up he ended up doing a first, second, and third place thing as it got bigger and more people signed up. And at one point, I think we had like it was kind of big for a while. Like at one point, we had a huge crowd and then like 10 comics every week and stuff like that. And it was a lot. And it was a lot of fun actually. And then I came, and I was. And this was probably a year later even from that $50. And then it came down to me and another guy, Brian Fox. I don't know if you ever met him.
No, I've never met them.
Yeah, see, this is all like eras when you guys weren't around. Brian Fox, it came down to me and Brian Fox, and then we had a joke-off, which joke-offs are terrible. And then so we both had to tell a joke, and then the audience voted. Also terrible. Audience voting on a comedy show is also terrible. So we did a joke off, and this was my joke. I said, a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" And the horse says, "I just lost my job, and I'm worried about supporting my family." And then the bartender says, "Well, you could work here part-time." And the horse says, "I need something stable."
That is a terrible joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it just for the irony from, I just lost my job and then coming back to the actual something about a horse. But it's a terrible joke.
Yeah, I did not win. Brian Fox won. I got second place and I think the second place prize was $20 or something like that. So that was my, I think, second time being paid for comedy. Was that maybe I might have gotten paid because if it was a whole year later, I might have gotten paid somewhere else by then. But anyway, now look at me.
Yeah, I mean, you've got it made at this point.
Yes. I obviously I'm a hugely successful and famous comedian amongst comedians in Green Cove Springs, on the city side of Green Cove Springs.
Yeah.
Like you live more in the rural side, right?
I do.
Yeah. So So amongst people who live in the city of in the city side of Green Cove Springs, I am the most famous comic.
My first time getting paid doing comedy was at a cigar bar. ran by Mr. Joey Nickel.
Very nice.
It's the first time I got paid doing comedy.
Yes, and that show. So when I started running my own shows, like honestly, that was the main reason to start running shows, is so I could get paid to do comedy. Like that's one of the only ways to get paid to do comedy when you're first starting out, is to start running your own shows and either sell tickets or hopefully get a bar to pay you some money.
Yeah.
And I always, and part of this was an influence of Chris Buck too, where there was up until about 6 or 7 years ago, it was pretty commonplace to get comics to do free shows. I mean, and it still is, like in a lot of parts, but like if I'm putting a showcase together, unless it's, I don't know, the exposure for that showcase has got to be pretty good for me to not pay anybody on that showcase. But back then, and I think, and this is a small success, I think, and maybe not so small success, that I think is in part due to me and Chris Buck, of creating a culture and a standard in Jacksonville that you pay comics. Like if you're putting together a professional show and people are either paying to get in or paying for their drinks or whatever at the bar, if people are getting paid and it's not an open mic, or it's not set up as an open mic, even a pre-booked open mic, then people should get paid. Comics should get paid for their work. And Chris Buck and I actually made a concerted effort to bring that culture to Jacksonville of, you get paid to do comedy here. You don't, and a lot of it to the subversion of the Comedy Zone, who would always say, we don't want you to get paid other places.
Yeah, that was the one issue I had with the Comedy Zone. I'm like, I'm happy to do the mics and the showcases there, but don't stop me from getting paid elsewhere when I'm also coming here and performing for free.
Well, and I started kind of going out of market to do it. So I would do shows here in Green Cove Springs,
right? Which
was far enough away. I felt like it was away from the market of the Comedy Zone. Or I would do shows, way up north. I do like shows way up in the north side. You probably weren't around for. Were you ever around for Tony's Pizza?
Yes.
I was not.
Yeah, you weren't doing comedy. This is all pre-pandemic, so this is before you started doing comedy. Did I ever have you do Tony's Pizza? I can't remember. That one we did a weekly show that was an open mic, pretty much. I would ask people to be on it, but it was like this was an open mic. But then we had a paid show, like a paid showcase that I would do there kind of once a month or just kind of periodically whenever we could get.
Now, I might be conflating it with something else. I remember doing a show with Wes and...
Oh, that was different. Yeah, that was a different spot. There was a pizza place. That might have been called Tony's Pizza, too.
Yeah, that's why...
I think they were both called Tony's Pizza, actually.
To be fair, Tony's...
Yeah.
Tony's Pizza, very, very common
name for pizzas.
Yeah.
You know what isn't common? I see this billboard every time I drive down to. I want to say it's like before I hit I-4 when I'm going to Orlando, so it might be like Daytona area. Tony Sushi.
Oh, I've
seen that
one.
billboard, and I'm like, Tony Sushi. What? Who's? He's like, hey, come eat Tony Sushi. You want some? You want some good sushi? We got some good sushi for you. You want to eat some sushi? We got it. We got the best sushi makers. Come eat some Tony Sushi.
No.
I don't know if I trust that sushi.
No, I do not trust that sushi.
And their billboard, it's like this Italian-looking guy, and he's like got a chef's outfit on, like Tony Sushi, and it's like, are you making the sushi? Because if you're making the sushi, I'm not coming. Like that's.
And the thing is, like, Italian people are very well known for good.
For
fish,
good food,
good seafood,
good seafood, even, yeah.
I don't
good
want
seafood,
their sushi,
but not their sushi.
That does not. That sounds like the bad fusion.
I'm gonna have to go to Tony Sushi and tell you both.
I know. I want to find out if Tony Sushi is any good because every time I see it, I'm like, Tony Sushi, like that's crazy. Like,
come on out and have a salmon risotto roll.
Yeah, we got a Parmesan crusted eel. inside some very good seaweed. I think that you'll like.
Balsamic glazed spicy tuna
Yeah,
roll.
yeah. Instead of the eel sauce, it's balsamic glaze. I gotta find out if Tony Sushi
We
is any
got
good.
some Calabrian pepper wasabi over here.
Now, Tony, I'm trying to think if there's an Asian name like Tony with an I. No, there's not even that. It's not. That's more of a girl's name, Tony with an I.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Sushi. Every time I see it, I'm like, Tony, what Tony came up? What Guido came up with that idea? Like, I need to.
I'm hearing it pronounced like Tony Guido, but it might be Tony Guido. I can't even do the Asian accent that I want to do for that. It's so off kilter.
It's so weird. And it's just this Italian-looking guy. It looks like an ad for an Italian restaurant, but it says sushi at the end of it. You expect it to say Tony's Bistro or Tony's Pizza or Tony's Italiano or something like that, but it says Tony Sushi.
Hey, our ovens are broke. Let's serve it raw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
It seems like a solution to a problem.
You know what it is? I bet it's a front. I bet it's a mob front, and it's like nobody's going to come here because nobody's eating Tony Sushi, and we can just lie and say people come here.
You mean like mattress stores?
Yeah.
Mattress
Oh,
stores have to
100%,
be a
yeah.
mob front.
I think Tony Sushi is a cover. Tony Sushi is a way to launder money for the mob.
Mattress One cannot be making enough money to sustain a Mattress One here and one across the street.
They should at least call it. Somebody at this point should have at least come out with a Mattress 2.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? Mattress Firm.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that sounds like Mattress 1. It's like, dang it, what is it? There's like Mattress 1 and then there's another one that sounds like Mattress 1 and I forget what it is. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 1:52 p.m.
Okay. We are recording 2 episodes today, so we got another guest coming in a little bit. But today's topic I'm going to say some things, and then you maybe guess. Isaiah knows what the topic is because he picked it.
Okay.
But then Bobby, maybe you can guess.
You texted me a little bit, so
I did.
I just want you to know that you might have told me inadvertently.
I may have.
Okay.
Bobby, I really like how nice you are to everybody, even when I know you are depressed and mad at the world. And Isaiah, I really like how long your hair is.
Thank you.
You have beautiful hair, Isaiah.
I do.
I'm always jealous of your hair. Actually, I'm jealous of your hair. I feel like my hair could have looked like that 15 years ago. I could have grown it like that, but I can't grow hair like that anymore.
I think it's a compliment day.
It is compliment day.
It is compliment day.
It is compliment day. I thought it would be fun to think of compliments that. It made me think of this just now when I was talking about how somebody said to me, "Oh, you're actually good today." Like, you know,
yeah.
What's a compliment you've gotten that you're like, that was not a like you're like that was actually backhanded compliment, I guess.
Backhanded,
but not
yeah.
even necessarily backhanded. I feel like a backhanded compliment is intentional. Like you're doing it on purpose. You're like, "Oh, I really like how I really like." I can't think of anything. I could only think of fat stuff.
Like you're actually funny. That's probably the biggest one.
That's the biggest one for us probably, for somebody who's a comedian.
I got that from another comedian for at one of Joey's shows. After I did the show, I walked off, and he walked up to me and was like, "That was great. I didn't realize that you could be funny."
Yeah. Because, people, I don't think understand that comedians aren't on all the time. Or if they are, they're super annoying.
Well, and that's the other thing. So and I hate it when people, and I know, like, this is, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but this is something comedians need to stop doing, is getting... Okay, first of all, it is absolutely fine to be mad. Not be mad, but just like when somebody asks me, "Oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke." I hate it. Every comedian hates it. But I'm not saying that you should be annoyed by it, but come up with, my suggestion is to come up with something stupid to say for that, or something funny to say for that. Most of the time I just say, oh no, I get paid for that, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have to come to a show if you want to see me tell a joke, and that usually makes them laugh, and then it fulfills both requirements of them hearing something funny and me setting a boundary. But I hate it when comics say, like, oh, you wouldn't say that to a doctor or a plumber. And it's like, yes, you would.
Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
does. Doctors don't act like we're unique. Don't act like we're special because people say, tell us a joke. That happens to almost every profession has that. I would say, actually.
Can you tell me what this mole
Yes,
is?
exactly. Like, oh, you're a dermatologist? Listen, I have had the driest skin, and it's like every time you say a profession, they want to get something. They want to get some free advice about that. Anything where it's any profession where you're dealing with people or servicing people, like again, plumber's a good example of that. It's like, oh, listen, do I need to wrap my pipes every time it freezes or what? It's like. Everyone, and you know what? And most doctors are pretty cool about it, and most plumbers are pretty cool about it. So as a comedian, don't act like you're special and you get to not be cool about it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to chill the ego.
Yeah,
just a
that's
little
why
bit.
I came up with something funny to say like that, or there's other things too that you can come up with, but. It's that just annoys me when comics get like, oh, I can't believe they say that. No, you wouldn't say that to other professions.
My go-to is, do you have 10 minutes? Because I tell stories.
Yeah, or something like
I
that.
like that.
Yeah, and then it's like, and who is it? It was no, I just forgot his name. Mike Birbiglia, when he has that story about like. His doctor found out he was a comic, and he's like, "Oh, you're not very funny." And he's like, "Well, I'm not funny now. Like, this is the like."
But when I talk about you on stage,
Yes, exactly. And then exactly. But this will be funny when we tell this story to other people. And I do now. My favorite thing to hear when people find out I'm a comic, because sometimes I wear shirts that say I'm a comic in public, like this one. This is a comedy festival shirt.
Nice.
I have like 4 comedy festival shirts of ones that I've attended or been part of. So I will wear them in public sometimes, and when somebody sees it, they're like, "Oh, I love comedy. Are you a stand-up comic?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a stand-up comic." My favorite thing to hear instead of "tell me a joke" is, "Where can I see you?"
oh, I love that.
Ask, yes, exactly, and then I will never see you again the rest of my life. But it is nice for you to ask. It is nice for you to
makes
ask.
me feel
where can I
good.
see? Yes, and then I can tell them, and I can say, well, you can see me every Monday at Shantytown, or you can see me at the Comedy Zone on January 21st, or you can see me at Veterans United Craft Brewery on January 24th, or you can see me at Really Good Beer Stop on February 6th. For an example, just hypothetically, those are places that you could see me.
Nice plug. Nice working
Nice.
that in there. I do have to kind of change this a little bit because all 3 of us are married. We're in,
Yes.
and I'm going on the assumption that we're all happily married.
That would be correct, at least for me.
Yeah. So how often do you compliment your wives?
Daily.
It is very hard when you've been married for. We're coming up. I've been married the longest at this table,
Yes.
I believe, because you're 16 years.
If 15 and a half.
15 and a half?
Yeah.
All right, so May will be 18 years for me.
Gotcha.
And we were together for 2 years before that, but that doesn't count for some reason.
Yeah,
right?
I don't
It's like
understand that.
we're about to hit 20 years. Because we started dating like it was around Memorial Day, and then we were married on May 16th, so it's always around the same time.
Right. Yep.
And so it's like we were together for 20. We're about to hit 20 years, but only 18 of them count. It's like I met somebody the other day that was married. Like they had been married for 5 years, but they had been together for like 15 before that, and it's like, but those 15 don't count apparently.
That one's tougher.
That one I feel like you need to say, oh, together for 20, married for 5.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you need to say that. But so I after 20 years, it is hard to come up with to think of complimenting my wife. So you get to a point where you try to at least when she says something about herself to then compliment her
Right.
about that thing she says. And I like if she like when she puts on something or something like that, then you, like at this point I've had to train my brain to be triggered on how to on when to compliment her. And also one of the choices for one of the days we could have had as a subject was Healthy Woman's Weight Day. And I was like, that is not a subject that three married men should be talking about at all. We should definitely stay away from that subject.
When you sent me the list, I had my friends over yesterday, and I was like, you know what I should have chosen that needs 3 straight white men's opinions? National Roe v. Wade Days.
Yeah, I know. I saw Roe v. Wade on there, too. I was like, that is not a subject that these 3 men should be talking about.
Absolutely, we should. I will counterpoint that. No problem at all. Just not on this podcast.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just not publicly.
Yes. Different podcast, maybe. Well, but I bring up the complimenting the wives things for two reasons. One, I also try to compliment my wife every day, but it always comes across as I am trying to hit on my wife in advance bedroom intentions to
I mean, it is, but you don't. You're trying to mask that. You try to act like it's genuine.
Like I'm not every compliment is that, but it seems like every compliment is she takes it that way, which is interesting.
Packer.
And
Packer. Alexa, make an announcement. Oh, never mind. Do you hear your phone's ringing? Oh, that's Daniel's phone. Never mind. Go back.
Wait, no, my phone is ringing.
Okay. Now Alexa's talking. Was it your phone or was it Daniel's?
Someone's calling me.
Okay. Go back into your room.
all right. Hey, but I also want to ask this question: how often do your wives compliment you?
Also every day.
Also every day. Nice.
It is mostly the same thing. It is mostly. I tell you, when I get compliments from my wife, is when I put on a shirt, or like when I put on a new shirt or something. It's like it's always clothing based or something like that, or haircut based, or stuff like that.
Or wow, you're actually somewhat civilized and clean.
Yeah. I just mostly like this is after 20 years, you get to the point where it's like I just am try not to be mean. No, I'm just kidding.
I've been with my wife. Me and my wife have been together since high school.
Okay.
So like we've been together since I was 16. She was 14. So that's about 14 years. Married, I think 6 or 7, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
So long time.
Long time, but we're in a state of like our lives improving. She's in school to go for rad tech. I'm in school for English to like improve our lives. So the compliments help us get through the struggle.
Wait,
at the moment.
You didn't speak English before?
No. I spoke American Sign Language.
You had to learn English. I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. What was anyway? What,
I was just letting you.
What were you trying to? What were you trying? Was the point you were trying to make there? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was just funny watching you sit and it just being like, how do I continue this? I don't know what to do.
Give us a one-liner.
But no, but we're in this state of like continuing and improving our lives for the better. So we just give each other compliments, whether it's like I'm glad that I'm happy that you're working through this thing that you want to do for yourself, and then vice versa. And so we build each other up to make sure we get through it.
Nice.
Sickening.
Nice and sickening. Yep.
Daniel, can you get me another root beer from the little fridge? A cold one, please. Thank you. This is why you have kids, by the way. This is why, so
I
that
could tell.
they can get you drinks. Get your drinks ready while you're podcasting.
Yeah, that's a strong reason right there. Go that way.
Also, can you get? I printed something. Can you get it for me, please? Thank you. I like your shirt today. He's just confused.
Because you never like his shirt.
I never like his shirt. I specifically say I hate his shirt most of the time.
I do think it's much less common for women to compliment their men.
That is probably true.
Mostly,
And most of the time, it's one of those compliments like, you actually cleaned today, or something. Like, oh, I liked that you cleaned today. Like, it's usually one of those type of compliments.
Something a little backhanded.
thank you.
yeah, it is. But I also think that women appreciate men in a different way. Again, I'm not going to the bedroom thing, but like, hey, they traditionally, do more things around the house, or they traditionally like help us stay civilized and clean and things like that. Where we can take it for granted. I certainly try not.
That is
to.
true. Yes, it is very easy to, especially when you're married for so long, to take stuff like that for granted, and
Yeah.
not even close.
Like just throwing bottles across the room. Yeah,
The trash can's over there somewhere.
she'll find it.
A son will pick it up.
What was I going to say? Anyway, so let's move on to today's topic: Roe versus Wade. What's the best compliment you've ever gotten as a stand-up comic? Like, what's the best compliment after a show that you've gotten? A quick one's always like, you were the best one. Like, that's always fun.
Right.
However, one time I got that as a compliment, and then I was like, I got, this was the best comedy show I've ever been to. And I immediately thought, you have not been to any comedy shows, because this was terrible.
Yeah.
Like that one. So, or they're lying. I always like to hear you were the best one, or like, oh, I liked you the best. And most of the time, I can't decide when they're telling the truth about that or not. I can't decide if like them coming like, you were the best one. Like,
Right.
honestly, like, I don't know if that's better, or if they say it in front of everybody and everybody hears it. If that's better, like, which one's more honest? Because I like, my low self-esteem is always like, well, they're lying. Like, I wasn't the best one, or whatever.
If I see them walk past other comics and come straight to me and be like, yeah. you were great.
That's
Nice.
true.
Yeah.
then I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
always
you
a good
mean
sign.
that.
Yeah. And I always just assume they're hitting on me. Like, that's what I think.
Absolutely.
I just assume anybody complimenting me is trying to hit on me.
That's why I do it.
Yeah. I just want to have a show where people come up to compliment me and they're like, "Oh, good show, man. Hey, I'm married, okay?"
I think the best and I'm torn here when I'm compared to another comedian who I've always idolized, like, oh, hey, you were really funny. You remind me of so and so.
I do like that. Yeah.
It's awesome because I'm like, oh, I've idolized that person, but I'm also like, oh, I don't want to be a clone of that.
That's true.
That person.
It's worse though. The flip side of that is when they compare you to somebody you hate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or a comic that you think is a hack or whatever. Like,
Right.
that's the worst.
Like I think my favorite one has like, as far as that, being compared to somebody's like, oh, you're funny like John Panette.
I was about to say, I bet you get John Pinette a lot. Yeah.
And I love him, but I think the best compliment I've ever gotten after a show, it's happened a couple times, and it's not that, oh, hey, this you were really funny, or it's like, hey, I've had a really tough week and I needed that laughter, and you just helped me just have the best night. Like, that's exactly why I do this.
Those are good ones. Yeah,
that's why I do this.
And they always feel sincere. Like,
Yeah.
those are always good ones. I needed this. You really helped me tonight. Those are tough.
The best compliment I had is when a comic walked up to me and told me, "Hey, you were actually funny today."
That was me on the last show. No, actually, my sister told you that she thought you were the best one on the lineup, and I was on the lineup. So
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good one too.
Actually, I will say it was probably the first or second time I met you, Isaiah. It was, and it was a compliment to me personally, before the show even started, you had your headset, and you're like, "Hey, do you mind watching this?" I'm like, "You trust me to watch your stuff?" I'm like, That's cool. I appreciate that more as a comedian, because we are a lousy group of thieves.
That is true. I do hate comparisons when there's somebody I don't like. You know what I've been getting lately, because he's been getting more famous, is Aaron Weber.
Okay.
People have been saying, and at first I was like, "You're just saying that because we're both fat and bearded, aren't you?"
Yeah.
But then now as I'm listening to him on the podcast, I'm like, you know what? We kind of do have a similar voice tone and chiming. And I think the Southern accent of his kind of masks that a little bit. Like I don't in my head. Come on in. This is our guest for our next episode coming in the door right now.
Heck yeah.
You can come on in. Hey, Dan.
Hey.
You can go ahead and take a seat on the couch, and we'll. Actually, I don't know if you can. You can sit there, I guess. I don't know if you can get to the. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Dan. This is Dan Venti. He's going to be our guest on our next episode. We're just wrapping this one up.
Yep.
This is, by the way. The people who are available today all have jobs. I think you both have. Oh no, not anymore.
I'm off
though.
today.
You're off today. But what's your normal day job?
I work at a bank.
Yeah, you work at a bank. You work in
I work in that industry.
in that industry.
Yeah.
What do you Dan? At a university. So that it's all like jobs that are off today. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like everybody who has Martin Luther King Day off. This is what. This is who I could get on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're recording this on Martin Luther King Day, in case I have to break the illusion that we're not recording this on the day that we're posting this.
Unlike normal.
Unlike normal.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna read some fan mail real quick, and then we'll wrap it up with our thoughts on today's topic.
I would like to say that you are very good at reading fan mail.
It's gonna be terrible now. You've put too much pressure on me.
It was a compliment.
Oh, this is a long one too.
I appreciate how long that mail is. It makes you feel weird.
Yeah. Joey and Bobby. No deer. There's no deer. Who starts his letter without a deer?
Probably somebody who's in prison or dead.
Yeah. Joey and Bobby. I listened to your episode on the drive back from job hunting. The fun kind. Wait, what's the fun kind of job hunting?
Probably one with a bow and arrow.
Where the fun kind where you realize the place you spent 8 years at the place you spent 8 years at no longer wants you around, and you're now hunting for a no skills job because apparently you forgot to pick up any marketable skills along the way. I even applied at a comic book and game store, and I'm not sure I'm qualified for that either. Another humbling or maybe bumbling day. I don't know what this part is. Manamana. Oh yeah, we did that. That was the last episode. My children did not understand that at all when I said that. They did not know what Manamana was. Daniel doesn't know this tune. How sad. Do better as a parent. Yeah, well, this is supposed to be compliment day. He doesn't know this when he's writing this, though. But it looks like he's already making more money than you, so at least he won't always be living with you. Probably the other way around. Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
My kids make more money than me. I'll be honest, I was a little worried this might turn into another sports-heavy episode because when it comes to that, I'm not, not my thing at all. Oh, yeah, we did talk about the Jacks because they had just gotten knocked out of the playoffs.
We did. I would like to ask at this point or make a prediction. They have no marketable skills. They don't make money. This is a comedian.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a great career ahead of you as a stand-up comic.
They're not into sports. Yeah.
Yeah. Where was I? Not my thing at all. Your last episode was actually the worst for me, which is fine. Not every. Again, I'm reading this on compliment day. Not every episode has to hit every listener, but this one completely turned it around and gave me everything I loved about this show. The whole numismatist conversation with Daniel was perfect. The coin show stories, the paper money, the ongoing struggle to even say numismatist, all of it. And then there were the paper towel wars. Oh yeah, that was a big story. Well, not too exciting, but yeah, it wasn't a very big story. I lied about that. But can you imagine what would happen if there wasn't a brother-in-law to save the day? And then there was the guy calling the cops on someone over a phony $2 bill in the food court. That is an all-time human behavior moment, confident, wrong, and ready to involve law enforcement over legal currency is unbelievable. I also realized too late that I should have already written you a hemorrhoid song. Oh, yeah. So you probably haven't listened. We forgot to do a hemorrhoid update. We got to do it after this letter.
Yeah.
I failed you, and now you've got someone else writing a hemorrhoid material. I missed my window. Sob. Also unrelated, but inspired by the episode's energy, I have been walking around all day, nip the hemorrhoid problem in the rear. That's one on me, not from the episode, but it feels spiritually connected. I'm sitting pretty tonight. One last observation: since you talked about handshakes, I was finally able to make it back to church since losing the graveyard job, and I noticed people have weaker handshakes than they did pre-2020. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just got stronger and church-going people working stronger than the church-going people working in the graveyard. Either way, how about no skin contact at all, just a little wave and a greeting to each other? Thanks for making a rough day a lot better. Fantastic episode, guys. Your fan from Brazil, John. I'm not right. P.S. I'm not writing a hemorrhoid song. Sorry, I wrote most of my songs at the graveyard, and since they kicked me out, my nurse is gone. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
PSS. I think it's supposed to be PPS. Because
Postscript.
I think it's supposed to be PPS because I would always laugh when people would say PPS. Before I finished this email, I hadn't written any hemorrhoid songs, but I did make some mysterious package ones instead. Oh, we'll have to listen to those on another episode. But he did send a link to some of these songs.
Oh, nice.
I thank you for reminding us, listener. Hemorrhoid update. How are your hemorrhoids?
We're gonna change this to butt watch. I was misdiagnosed with hemorrhoids.
Wait, you do not have hemorrhoids?
No, I unfortunately have.
I wrote a theme song for this and everything. It was you probably didn't hear it because I put it in post, but there's a hemorrhoid theme song. There's a hemorrhoid update theme song.
Yeah. So it's now a butt watch. I unfortunately have. It is called anal fissure.
I was just about to say. I bet it's an anal fissure.
Yes. Yep. Yes. And apparently that is a big comedy point in season 1 of The Office when they're doing their healthcare episode. Mm-hmm. That is at least what my wife told me and laughed at me about. But yes, I have that. I'm expecting some medicine to be shipped to me because I can't just pick up the butt medicine that I have to apply at least 4 times a day. And
4 times a day?
4 times a day.
Is
Oh,
crazy.
boy.
I'm
4 times a day, you got to get in there, huh?
Yeah, four times a day. You got to get up in there. And if I'm not seeing market improvement right around mid-February, I believe I'm having surgery.
That's
boy.
what happens when your butt collapses.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is it's an outpatient surgery. And out is a real
yeah.
tough word to use there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you're the third person I've known to have an anal fissure.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
I will tell you I don't wish this on anybody.
Now I don't think it has anything to do. Now, did it have anything to do with you losing a bunch of weight or no? I don't think it does it?
I think it has to do with dietary change.
But okay.
Not necessarily
losing weight,
right.
but
Yeah.
okay. Because I was trying to think like the other people that I know. One of them was fat, but the other one was skinny. So like I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
No, I think that it was a dietary change, and then I let myself get a little dehydrated one day, and I apparently me being white and uptight, I have very very tight butt.
Yep.
I mean,
All right, that's good to know.
That's right.
It is compliment day.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice white and uptight butt, Bobby.
Yeah,
Bobby Parker.
just not the outside part. I've been referred to as a very tight A many times, and apparently that's
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we have it. Anal Fisher update. Apparently.
Yeah. Butt watch.
Butt Watch 2026. Now I have to come up with a new theme song for it.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah. I apologize.
I had the theme song ready and everything. I even made a graphic for it. That sounds like a bad term for this. I made an image, like I used our logo
that's
and then
not
put
helping.
Hemorrhoid Update in there instead. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll just have to watch the last week's episode and you'll see what I'm talking about.
You might want to watch with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
these images.
All right. Well, Isaiah, do you have any shows coming up?
I do actually. At the end of this month, I am headlining at the Grove at Orange Park Country Club.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, go
Yeah.
to that show because I'm doing the next one after that.
Yeah, if
So
it goes well.
Yeah, if
he's gonna
nobody goes
headline
to
the
that
next
show,
one.
we're not having another one. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely go to that show. What was the date? Do you
January 30th.
January 30th. January 30th. Go to the Grove in Orange Park. It's a country club. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
what
the
it
Orange
is?
Park Country Club.
The Grove at the Orange Park Country Club.
Do you have information out on social medias?
Yeah, it's it has an Eventbrite. It's on their website as well, and I'll be on the news on the 21st.
What is
Talking about it.
What
What's
is
your
your
social handle?
social media?
My social media is at Just Another Comedian on Instagram.
At Just Another Comedian on Instagram.
All right, Isaiah Burns. Do you have any shows coming up, Bobby?
I do. I am going to be down at Third Space Improv February 13th. I'm going to be in Savannah on Valentine's Day, February 14th, and a smattering of other places working on material between now and then.
All right.
And it's Bobby Parker Comedy.
Bobby Parker Comedy. Every Monday, please come to Shantytown every Monday. Every Thursday, please come to Root Down every Thursday. I just realized that the two venues rhyme. And those are the open mics. Come to those open mics that I run. And then Wednesday, I will be at the Comedy Zone. Wednesday, no, this will be after that. This comes out after that. So,
Yeah.
never mind. You missed it. You missed my show on Wednesday at the Comedy Zone. But
I'll be at the Comedy Zone on the 28th.
28th of January, come to the Comedy Zone. Bobby Parker will be there. The 24th, so tomorrow, I believe. Compliment Day is on Friday, I think. Yeah. So tomorrow, come see me at Veterans United Craft Brewery with Johnny Mack. And February 6th, please come to Really Good Beer Stop. Nick Harvey will be headlining Really Good Beer Stop.
Ooh, that'll be a good show.
That'll be a really good show, February 6th. And then I think that's all I got so far. I am going to do something on Valentine's Day, but that hasn't been finalized yet. We'll let you know if that happens.
All right. I think I know about that one, but yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I'll ask you off air.
Okay. All right. Today has been Compliment Day. You are great listeners. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it. I'm Joey Nickel.
I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Isaiah Burns.
See you tomorrow.
And have a good one. I'm not trying to get you in bed.
Today is whatever they say it is, and we're here for it.